So we just stopped on this. It's a main river ledge. We got a little current rolling around a corner here, and there's some isolated hydrilla clumps. So what I'm gonna target, one of my favorite ways is with a square bill. And you know, this is a Z flat by Arc. We're gonna target these grass hydrilla clumps on the outside edge. And anybody that's ever fished the Tennessee River, a flat-sided crankbait, it's notoriously won a lot of tournaments, and it's super effective. But for me, when the water starts getting cold and the water temperature's dropping right now, the air temperature's actually dropped, shoot, probably 20 degrees since I put my boat in this morning. So I love to target current fish because I think they're not affected as much by fronts like we're going through right now while we're filming this. But I'm gonna pick this flat side up, and what I'm gonna try to do is just parallel this edge going down through here and get it to come clean. Just most of this bait will run about 6 foot deep. So, and I'm gonna try to get it that 4 to 5, 6 foot zone is what I'm targeting going down this edge. So we're gonna bait with the current, rolling it down through there. And you can actually see like a couple of grass clumps right here. I'm not really throwing it up in that grass. I'm just working that outside edge where that break is. You can look on my screen. Okay, so this dark blue is the main river channel, Tennessee River channel. And this is the bottom end of a big flat. You can see the red is 5 foot or less, that's shallow. This is all like 10, the green I've got shaded at 5 to 10. And you can see we're right on the edge of the drop. There's a big hydrilla clump right there. That one's coming up to 5 feet. That's what I'm trying to target with this crankbait. We're gonna ease out just a little bit more. You can see the depth change right here. 12, 13, 14. You see it went to a clean bottom at 10. So when it gets a little colder, you may want to target that very outside grass as these fish transition into their wintertime pattern. Now we're going to move back up, moving towards that grass. There you can see it come back up. So it's a pretty specific cast. It looks like we're out in the middle of the lake, but I'm targeting, if you get it, you want that bait to stay in the strike zone from the end of your cast all the way to the boat. So it may look like I'm just fogging around out here in the middle, but I'm really not. I'm making a specific cast to hit a clump of grass just like that. 5 foot of water, that grass is coming almost to the top, and that's what these fish seem to be holding on right here. Anything that breaks that current coming down through here is what they like this time of year. So we're gonna keep this thing wet down through here and hopefully catch us a big fish. Oh, he's got me in the grass a little bit. Oh, he's got it good though. Yeah, there you go. That's what I like to do on this outside edge. Bumping that grass with that square bill, catching healthy fish like that in the fall of the year. Pretty, man. Pretty. Let you go. Catch you again another day. See you, buddy. Starting when these big mats go away on this lake in particular, Guntersville, I mean, those fish don't leave these areas. This is notoriously a pretty famous area. It's a huge grass flat. I mean, I can see grass maybe for 100 yards out that way. And I'm sure I didn't fish up here a month ago, but probably a month ago, this was a big solid mat of hydrilla. So I think it's maybe some of the fish migrate back into the creeks, but I think a lot of them stay out here because they've got that current and they've got what they want to eat, which is a bunch of bait. Threadfin shad, gizzard shad rolling down through here. This is where those fish will live through this fall transition into winter time. I mean, this is a pretty viable pattern all the way up until we get into that pre-spawn phase, which here usually starts, I would consider, around February. I've been fishing now for 5 minutes down through here, and I have very rarely maybe this is maybe my second or third cast, I've got some grass. And what that tells me is it just indicates this is good, healthy, you know, living, thriving hydrilla. And typically on this lake, this grass on the outside that's influenced by that current and waves, it never gets that scum which causes it to die off. And if we have a mild winter, this grass will actually be the first grass to hit the top come springtime, as long as we have a real mild winter where we get a lot of sun and not many flood events here. And one of the reasons I absolutely love fishing grass lakes is just the fact they change constantly. Every year they're different. And I think that's based on just weather patterns and stuff. This may be the best grass bed on the lake. The next year it may not even be here. And it just keeps things interesting if you like to bass fish like I do. This is a composite rod, which means it's a mixture of graphite and fiberglass. But man, composite rods of the past were heavy, bulky, and you could never throw like a flat-sided crankbait like this on the old school composite rods efficiently. But this thing is as light as any just pure graphite rod I have in this boat. But look at the action of that thing. 7-foot medium action. And it's just got that it's super sensitive, but I don't know how to describe it. When I hook a fish, it's got that spongy feel. It absorbs all the shock from that fish. And with any treble hook lure or even like a chatterbait, I love that composite rod. Like, it just flat out gets it done. For me, if I'm throwing bigger baits, I use the same composite rod. I just use a little bit longer one. But with this square bill, I mean, even out here fishing this hydrilla, I mean, this is my choice. And same thing if I were targeting cypress trees, docks, or if I was target fishing. I mean, it basically does all the work for you. And then when you finally get that fish to bite, it puts them in the boat.